Welcome to my channel. This is Bruce the Boss Brooks, and today's news. On top of having a historic worker shortage and unable to recruit new workers into their restaurants, McDonald's is now facing a nationwide strike. But before we get into that story, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you are new to the channel, and like this video, comment on this video. It goes a long way in beating the YouTube algorithms. And if you are subscribed, go ahead and smash that like button, comment. I want to know your thoughts. And don't forget to check that notification bell, as I was recently noted by one of my subscribers that YouTube is messing with my channel to the degree that they are not notifying my current subscribers who did check the notification bell already. So go ahead and check that notification so you don't miss my content, which I have been pumping out daily recently. Oh, and by the way, I'm also participating in a charity bike ride this September for multiple sclerosis. This is my donation page on the Multiple Sclerosis or MS Society website. Your donations go a long way with helping to fund further research as well as provide treatment, necessary treatment for those diagnosed and struggling with multiple sclerosis and helping them to live their best lives. So I'll leave a link to this donation page in the description box below. Go ahead and make that donation if your so heart desires. Thanks. So back to the story at hand. Many articles, I'm reading one from Business Insider, are reporting that Bernie Sanders, along with AOC, are joining strikers or joining the striking McDonald's workers, demanding higher wage or higher wages ahead of the chain's annual investor meeting. McDonald's workers in 15 U.S. cities plan to strike on today, May the 19th, for higher wages. Bernie Sanders and AOC will join the striking workers and make a speech. The strikes are planned for the day before McDonald's annual shareholders meetings, according to this report. On the walkout Wednesday, employees in the 15 U.S. cities will go on strike to demand all McDonald's workers make at least $15 an hour. So far, the strikes are planned in Los Angeles, Oakland, San Francisco, Miami, Tampa, Orlando, Chicago, Detroit, Flint, Michigan, Kansas City, St. Louis, Raleigh, Durham, Fayetteville, Houston, and Milwaukee. Demonstrations are planned outside of the company's Chicago headquarters as well. Organizers from the advocacy group Fight for $15 an hour. So walk out Wednesday. I did a video the other day, feel free to go check that out, on the whole conversation of minimum wage and certain jobs. But go ahead, check it out if you want the full story. And I did did some data analysis on, and just to give a synopsis of it, the fact that there are a plethora of blue-collar jobs that have been forgotten about by American citizens that are still available, skilled blue-collar jobs that will allow an individual to make anywhere on average, depending on the job, $42,000, $58,000, $76,000 a year. Jobs such as plumbing, automotive mechanics, construction. There's one company I talk about, 84 Lumber, I believe it's called, where they'll hire people who have no experience in construction at all, train them, and then put them in positions where they can start off earning around $40-something thousand a year with an upward ceiling of six figures. Those are all blue-collar jobs that don't require college degrees, not to mention the one white-collar job that still doesn't require a college degree, but rather just certified training courses that are affordable, and that is IT. Don't need to go to a 4-year university and rack up massive debt to become an IT technician. Not to mention commercial truck drivers. CNN did a reporting article several weeks ago prior to the hack of Colonial Pipeline, where they were already predicting that there was going to be a gas shortage because there was a shortage in fuel tank truck drivers, because not just any truck driver can also drive fuel tanks. That requires even more specialized training involved, which you can have done, but there's a shortage in that industry of as much as 25% of their driver workforce has shrunk within the last year, and they're desperate for more workers. These are fields, jobs that you can support. Why are individuals now going to the lowest skill of jobs like McDonald's expecting to make a quote-unquote livable wage when you have all of these blue-collar industry skilled jobs, highly skilled jobs, highly sought after, and very much shortage of workforce and or qualified workers to perform, why are they not going there where there's a higher demand, higher pay, as opposed to low-skill jobs like at McDonald's that are, in my opinion, meant to be entry level to begin with, for you to either get into the workforce initially, get that worker's experience, and then move on to something else, someplace else, and or if you want to move up, as been a story of dozens of McDonald's employees where they started off as cashiers, cooks, what have you, at minimum wage, and then moved up the ranks to become store manager and eventually owning their own franchisee store. That's the American dream, and that's what has happened. So I don't really know why people are trying to make certain jobs that are low skill and easily replaceable into livable careers, but I digress. Now, one of my fears as it pertains to fighting for this minimum wage is the idea, like I said, these are low skill that can be replaced very easily, not just by high school kids, but also by kiosks. Now we've already seen this movement happening over the last 6 years. I've seen it really sweeping up across San Antonio here at many McDonald's locations, and it's very convenient. But you're seeing the replacement of cashiers by the dozens. No longer do you see multiple lines of, at least 3 or 4 cashiers. You may at best see 2 cashiers working at once. Meanwhile, you have a plethora of kiosks that have replaced many of the cashier jobs, and yes, it does make ordering more efficient. This is also more cost efficient for McDonald's. So what happens when you make the cost of employing that much greater than the actual benefit? They'll find ways to replace and or save money, i.e. kiosks. That's one of my concerns. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. As mentioned in my other video, one part of what's also fueling this strike here and this movement is, I believe, the progressive utopia that's been created by the recent American Relief Package, aka the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, which included an additional $300 a week in federal unemployment benefits on top of what people are getting from their respective states, allowing individuals to not have to work but get paid as much as $32,000 a year, or roughly about $16 an hour, to stay at home. So they are being supported by individuals who have the luxury not to work because they can just keep collecting unemployment without really looking for, or should I say earnestly looking to get another job. They may throw out applications, do interviews, but once they get the acceptance from the employers, like, okay, you pass the background check, you pass the interviews, we like you. The workers will then say, or the applicants will say, not interested, and then continue to collect unemployment because they can make just about as much money, if not more money, staying home. That's helping to fuel the worker shortage that we are seeing at a record rate right now, despite the fact that there are millions of job openings, millions of individuals who are put out of work, and yet they're not rushing back to take those jobs because they're being supported by the federal government. You do have a lot of states that have now come and said, you know what, we're going to cut that additional federal spending, even though it's already set to end in September. Many governors, like Governor Greg Abbott here in Texas, is deciding to cut it in June to try to help reinvigorate the economy in the various states. But you have this being fueled and supported by unemployment benefits that are allowing individuals the freedom and luxury to not have to work. So that's my thoughts on what's helping to support this. This might have been part of a larger progressive plan, especially once the liberal left got control of Congress, both houses, the House of Representatives as well as the Senate, in order to pass a lot of these packages without having to consult with many conservative Republicans or libertarians and or those in the independent party that represent in Congress. So it's been a wish list. Was this part of a greater agenda to revolutionize the workforce, push for a minimum wage for careers or jobs that were never meant to be livable wages and or careers? I want to know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, comment on this video, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not yet subscribed. This is Bruce the Boss Brooks reporting on unemployment and Walkout Wednesday McDonald's strike. I'm out. Peace.